I'm always looking out for another property to invest in, and recently I came across this, which I thought was really interesting. So this is 10 hectares of land, which is 24 acres, and it mainly consists of grassland, woodland, and also a small farm. And then there are 3 small houses on the land, and they're quite spread out. And the current owner rents out one of these on Airbnb. And this property is located on the outskirts of a small town called Rancho Queimado in Santa Catarina. It's got about 3,000 inhabitants. It's very beautiful here, lots of mountains, valleys, forests, but also it's not totally isolated. It's only about an hour's drive from Florianopolis, the capital, and the nice beaches of Santa Catarina. And the estate agent selling this property is called Fazendas e Sítios, and I'll leave a link to him in the description below. So let's have a look at this property. So this is the entrance to the property. It's got a simple driveway, and you can see how beautiful it is here. Lots of nature, nice views as well of the valley. And also one thing to mention is that Rancho Queimado and this property here, they're quite high up in altitude. So this property here is 1,200 meters above sea level. And with this high altitude, what that means is the climate here is very different to other parts of Santa Catarina. It never gets too hot here, so even in summertime it gets to about 20, maybe 25 degrees Celsius, which is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And then in wintertime it can go down to below 0 degrees Celsius, so you can get into negative figures. You can have a bit of snow, some ice as well. So this is perfect for those people who don't like the heat and prefer something a bit cooler. And all the land you see here is part of the property. And here's one of the houses on the property, this yellow one here. And there are a couple of large ponds as well on the land. You can see this one here. And here's the second house, and this is the one that the owner currently rents out on Airbnb. And next to it you got a nice outside sitting area, and then also a deck here where you've got beautiful views of the valley. And the land for this property goes down into the valley below here. And down there in the valley there's a big waterfall. I mean, there's actually quite a few waterfalls in this area. Later we'll go and have a look at one of the small ones, but then you've got even bigger one down here in the valley. Okay, so let's go into this house here, which they rent out on Airbnb, and have a look. So when you come through the door, you've got an open plan living room and kitchen. It's a nice cozy space. And in here you've got a nice bathroom, and then upstairs is the bedroom. So you can see it's furnished like an Airbnb, and they've put in a double bed and a single bed in here, and then you've got a small balcony out here. And I had a look on Airbnb, and people charge around 500 reais per night, $100 per night, to rent out small properties like this on Airbnb. Yeah, so this property can generate some good income, and obviously you could do the same with the other 2 properties, which we're going to have a look at. And also it's possible to build even more small Airbnb cottages on this land and generate even more income. Okay, so now let's have a look at the yellow house. And here you can see more of the land. So all the grassland here and the forest behind it is part of the property. So it stretches way into the distance here. Next to the house here you've got a pergola with grapevines growing on it, and a little barbecue area here as well. And if you go into the property, the layout here is similar to the other one. So you've got an open plan living room and kitchen with a nice fireplace. And above there you've got an office and bedroom. And then a bathroom here next to the kitchen. Now this one they're not renting out on Airbnb, but you could definitely rent this one out as well, and you can get 500 reais per night as well, or maybe even a bit more because this is a bit bigger. And then they've installed this swing up here, so you can just sit here and swing and just look at the nice views. And there on the left you can see there's another large pond as well. So I mean, this is very beautiful. And obviously all of this grass here will need cutting, but I mean the current owner just pays a local guy to come and cut it every 2 weeks, and yeah, it's not too expensive to get someone to cut the grass here in Brazil. And up here is something interesting, a bit unusual, is that they've got 2 shipping containers up here. And the plan by the current owner is to build a roof above them and have it as a kind of a storage area. But for me, I'm thinking maybe you turn these into kind of container homes, and then you could rent that out as well on Airbnb. I mean, they've already been lifted into place. Obviously, you need to spend a lot more to, bring electricity and plumbing and renovate it all. But that could be one more property on the land that you could rent out. And then you have this little small building here as well, but this isn't a house. This is a chicken coop. So they have a fair few chickens here, also some geese that you can see straight ahead here walking around. So I would say this is more of a hobby farm rather than a fully working farm. So here you can see the chickens that they have. And then to get to the final property, the final house, you have to walk up this hill here. So the final house is a bit more separate. It's more on the top of the hill. So here you can see it. And then there's a kind of walkway bridge above here, which takes you to another viewing point, and you can see the valley. If you go inside the house, again it's got an open plan living room, kitchen, and lots of big windows so you can look out at the nice views. Very nice high ceilings. And here to the right is the kitchen with a little deck outside with a hammock. And here's the bedroom, and then a nice little bathroom. Yeah, they're saying it's a bit quick when he shows the rooms and the properties. A bit difficult to see. But you can see it's in good condition. I mean, all 3 of the houses not very big. But yeah, an ideal size to rent out on Airbnb. And also another big positive about this property is that it's very close to a stream and a waterfall. So let's go and have a look at that. So you have to walk down this path here, which is all part of the property. And you can see the owners put some rope here on both sides because it can be a bit slippery to get down here. And here at the bottom here you can see the stream, and then a bit further along is the waterfall. Now this stream here isn't part of the property, so this is in an area of preservation right next to the property. And here you can see a small waterfall, which is very nice. And then if you were to walk further down into this valley, then you'd come across even bigger waterfalls. But this is the one that's close to the property. But one thing to note is that the water in these small streams in the mountains here is very cold. So yeah, if you were to find a natural pool in this stream, for example, and jump in it, it would be freezing cold. Okay, so that's the property. I mean, I think this is a really interesting investment. So the total price is 1.8 million reais, which is $316,000. Yeah, so it's a fair bit of money, but you do get 10 hectares of land, 3 houses, which you could rent out on Airbnb, and potentially you could convert those containers as well into another property. So then you would have 4 properties to rent out on Airbnb, and then obviously there's lots of land for you to be able to build even more if you wanted to. And also you're not out in the middle of nowhere, you know, hours away from civilization. No, you're just an hour's drive from the capital, Santa Catarina, Florianopolis. So that's pretty good as well. Okay, so if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe. If you've got any questions or anything, leave in a commentary below. So thanks for watching. Until next time.